This story is set in the notorious Nutty Putty Cave, but it's not about the tragic incident of John Jones that we've discussed before. Instead, we'll delve into another chilling experience that occurred in the same cave. Please be advised that the content of this video may be disturbing to some viewers, so proceed with caution. The tragic death of John Jones inside Utah's Nutty Putty Cave is one of the most infamous caving incidents in history. If you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you may recall me referencing this incident on multiple occasions. The circumstances of John's final 24 hours are particularly poignant, evoking a strong response from many people. For those unfamiliar, John was a 26-year-old aspiring pediatrician who ventured into Nutty Putty Cave on November 24, 2009, during a Thanksgiving family gathering. While exploring with his brother, John crawled through a narrow section on his stomach, believing he was approaching the birth canal area. This section was named for its extremely tight quarters and the sensation of being reborn upon exiting. However, John inadvertently entered a far more perilous area, the fissures, located beyond the big slide. Unfortunately, he realized his mistake too late and became trapped in a steep, dead-end passage. Despite a massive rescue effort, John's heart failed due to the physical strain of being upside down for an extended period. Prolonged inversion causes blood to pool in the brain, forcing the heart to work harder against gravity, ultimately leading to cardiac arrest. Following John's death, the decision was made to leave his body in the cave. Less than 10 days later, the entrance to Nutty Putty Cave was permanently sealed with concrete, ensuring that no one would ever enter again. Notably, John's tragic incident marked the culmination of a series of events that led to the permanent closure of Nutty Putty Cave. While most rescue missions at Nutty Putty Cave since its discovery in 1960 had successful outcomes, emergency responders and government officials knew that their luck would eventually run out, and that the cave's hazardous conditions would ultimately claim a life. And that's precisely what happened when John's tragic incident marked the final rescue mission, depleting resources and leading to the cave's permanent closure. A decision aimed at preventing future tragedies and honoring the memory of those who had lost their lives in the cave. 10 years before John's tragic incident, two 17-year-old friends, Marr and Hales, narrowly escaped a similar fate at Nutty Putty Cave. As outdoor enthusiasts, they were determined to make the most of their final summer break before high school graduation. Along with a group of friends, they drove 70 miles south from Salt Lake City to the cave's parking area, planning to camp overnight and explore the cave the next morning. After setting up their tents, they settled in for the night, eager for their adventure to begin. The next morning, around 9, the group entered the cave, and after some initial exploration, Marr and Hales split off from the group, heading for the birth canal, located about 12 feet underground. As they crawled through the tight passages, Marr led the way, but he made a crucial mistake, turning into the wrong tunnel. He entered the downward slope head first on his stomach, pushing his way through the narrow passage, sucking in his stomach to fit through the tight spots. Hales followed close behind, but when Marr realized they had taken a wrong turn, he was already wedged in place, unable to move. Marr called out to Hales, warning him of the mistake, but Hales was also stuck, upside down with no way to free himself. Fortunately, their friends heard their screams and rushed out of the cave to call for help. Within an hour, a team of about 40 rescuers arrived, beginning the challenging process of freeing the teens. While the rescue effort was getting organized, Marr and Hales received food and water from their friends, trying to stay calm and positive despite their precarious situation. Rescuers soon arrived at the scene, assessing the situation and asking the boys questions about their position and condition. Several hours passed with little visible progress, but Marr and Hales kept their spirits high, chatting, praying, and even joking to distract themselves from their predicament. When one of them started to feel anxious, the other was there to offer reassurance. Meanwhile, outside the cave, Marr's mother was notified of her son's situation, and she rushed to the scene, worried sick about his safety. Back inside the cave, rescuers decided the best approach was to pull the boys out with a rope attached to their feet. A team member carefully tied a rope around Hales' ankles and pulled him up, freeing him from the rocky tunnel. After 12 hours of being stuck, Hales was finally rescued around 10:30 p.m. It took a few more hours to free Marr, but he eventually joined his friend outside, receiving medical attention for their minor scrapes and scratches. Despite their harrowing experience, both boys managed to escape with a sense of humor and laughed about the situation, even sharing a laugh about their misadventure. Incredibly, Marr even returned to Nutty Putty Cave twice more before it was sealed shut in 2009, once even revisiting the same spot where he got stuck, but this time making it out without incident. During its time of operation, Nutty Putty Cave drew in a wide range of adventure seekers, many of whom were not adequately experienced or prepared for the dangers that lay within, including treacherous passages, narrow crawlways, and hidden drop-offs. In hindsight, it would have been wise to restrict access to only the most seasoned and skilled who possessed the necessary knowledge, skills, and equipment to navigate the cave safely. Instead, the cave became a popular destination for groups like Boy Scouts and students from high schools and colleges, who were often drawn in by the thrill of exploration and the promise of adventure. As a result, local authorities were frequently called upon to respond to emergencies and close calls, devoting significant resources to rescue missions that often put responders at risk. Between 2000 and 2005, no less than 7 rescue operations were conducted at Nutty Putty Cave, averaging over 1 per year, with each mission requiring a significant deployment of personnel, equipment, and expertise. In 2004, a 16-year-old named Clarke was rescued from the same general area where John's body would later be found, a narrow and treacherous passage known as the Fissures. Clarke got wedged in an uncharted territory. He made a grave mistake of going headfirst, which is never advised when exploring unmapped areas of a cave. It was the same fatal mistake that John Jones made years later. Fortunately for Brock, his situation was not as dire as John, and having a smaller stature, rescuers were able to get him out successfully. Just 2 weeks later, 23-year-old David Crowther became stuck for 8 hours before being freed, a harrowing experience that highlighted the dangers of the cave. Earlier in 2001, 2 Boy Scouts ventured deep into the cave beyond the birth canal before becoming trapped in a narrow crawlway, prompting a swift response from rescue teams. Fortunately, rescuers were able to extract them in just 4 hours, a testament to their skill and expertise, and the area where they were stuck was subsequently dubbed the Scout Eater, a name that served as a warning to future explorers. Unfortunately, not every caving incident ends so well, and John's tragic story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in these dark, underground passages. While the cave's closure marked the end of an era, its legacy endured as a cautionary tale, a solemn reminder of the perils that lie beneath the surface and the importance of exercising caution in the pursuit of adventure.